Hello indie game fans, there were a number of significant indie games that were released out of early access in February that I missed, so here they are which I think will be worth picking up. Let's begin with Heroine Anthem 02, Scalescars Oath, an action platformer RPG that is visually impressive, telling a tale of gods and mortals. The side-scrolling action platformer combat feels good, with an impressive amount of skills and abilities when you level up, which, combined with loot, crafting and cooking, as well as gorgeous animations and music, makes this 1.0 release worth a play. I love my monster taming RPGs, so of course, I have to mention Entodrive, a very small indie game that released out of early access. From the overall look and UI, it is very reminiscent of early Pokemon games, only where you are in the world collecting computer bugs instead of pocket monsters. The 2D sprites in the 3D world is a very interesting look, but is otherwise quite a by-the-numbers one of these, but I always love it when indie developers take a shot in this subgenre. An awesome underrated multiplayer sports title is KungFu Kickball, one that self-describes as a fighting sports game where you are launching the ball at the enemy goal in order to ring their bell and to score points. There are a variety of playable characters, each of which have their own special abilities, as well as variety in levels which keeps the game fresh. It is definitely better with friends, which may be what is affecting the popularity of this game, since it is tough to get people around these days. But if you ever have a need for a local multiplayer title, please keep this game in mind. Japanese developer Insight Systems is known for the Legend of Dark Witch series, but they do also have another one in Brave Dungeon, with The Meaning of Justice being the latest entry here. It is a dungeon crawling, turn-based JRPG that I think looks fantastic, so if you're a fan of the genre like me, do check this out. I was actually caught by surprise by the 1.0 release of Arctico as well, since this title, previously named Eternal Winter, launched in Steam Early Access in November 2014 and releases out of it 7+ years later, being a title that even I was not aware of until now. It has you exploring the Arctic with a trusty dog-sled team, having to build and customize your base camp, gather resources, farm and so on. Other than the dog sleds, there are kayaks and planes as well, even switching the camera to first person when exploring, which does give it some Subnautica vibes. However, it is not a cruel, punishing survival game, but rather more of a relaxing exploration title with less stress, but I wanted to highlight this for the crazy development story alone. A cozy life sim title that released out of early access is Brookhaven, one that many people have been comparing to Stardew Valley in terms of visuals, but it does take place in a storybook fairy tale world, all sorts of magic and monsters in it. To be honest, I'm not sure if any farming sim title can even come close to Stardew Valley at this point, so it's not a fair comparison. But assessing this game on its own merit, this does have some interesting ideas of its own, such as the ability to learn magic. So like Entodrive covered earlier, props where it's due for giving it a shot. An interesting looking title that self-describes as a fast-paced puzzle shooter is Time Rift, one where you have to maneuver and react in real time, with the rest of this trailer providing the story and setting.
At Vaultco, we believe the best security testing is done by the world's best hackers, ex-hackers just like you. Last security contractor had trouble with that last server. So anyway, hang in there, okay? For now, let's try to act normal, okay? If I get cut off, just do the thing that we discussed before, okay? Get the data to the...
Let's kick off the top 3 with Space Flight Simulator, a physics simulation title that is taking off in terms of popularity, where you are designing and building rockets to launch into space, with objectives of deploying payloads or landing on new planets. Sure, the concept has been done before in Kerbal Space Program, but if you're a space geek and love this kind of stuff, I think that this will be a title of interest. We have quite the curiosity here with Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon, where it even weirds me out to say this, since it is a not-so-indie title that comes to us from Konami of all people, and somehow, after all that company has been through in recent times, is somehow a good game. They have taken cues from indie developers since it is a roguelike platformer with 2 different playable characters and does have meta progression as well. The elephant in the room not talked about just yet is the art style, which is so freaking pretty, resembling the Japanese ukiyo-e masterpieces, which is only made even more impressive by the bosses and enemy designs. With everything from spiders, giant skeletons, centipedes, yokai and hydras in the mix, all of which present a challenge. As such, I have no idea how this game's development was even approved by Konami, and yet, somehow, they managed to make a great game, so this deserves a spot. With another impressive title releasing in 1.0 in Home Behind 2, a roguelite RPG that sure looks like Darkest Dungeon, but is set in a fictional country where you play as revolutionary fighters trying to overthrow an authoritarian regime. One of the most significant differences is that combat is in real time, where you have both vehicle combat as well as the more traditional side-on 4v4 combat that we are used to in the space. The reception to this has been pretty good so far, so I do think it's worth a look, taking the #1 spot. For more games like Darkest Dungeon or roguelite titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.